Residents who have long been protesting the decision to build a plant in the east are anything but relieved by the City Council's Entergy report.
Jacqueline Quinn joins us now live from the proposed power plant site with that part of the story. Jacqueline?
Yeah, I talked with them earlier closer to New Orleans, but the feeling is that there is some validation, although they're still very worried about this. And what they don't want is a new plant here in this space, and that's the bottom line for them.
The latest report from the New Orleans City Council only threw more insult to injury to residents fighting the new Entergy plant in the east.
We have been insulted by Entergy all along.
Residents met this Wednesday at the Rosa Keller Library in Broadmoor to discuss what they say they knew all along.
It was disturbing to read that Mr. Rice actually said, spend the money. We need more soldiers on the ground. So they were spending the ratepayers' money for this action.
The words specifically detailed in a text message conversation obtained in the report from the former CEO Charles Rice were, "This is war and we need all the foot soldiers we can muster."
I've been in the village for over 40 years.
Mark Wynn wants the city to remember people like him as he heads to the council meeting Wednesday to discuss the report.
Just really, vicious words to attack the community and using it as almost like a struggle or a fight when it's not about that.
And Wynn tells his community members will be prepared with a lot of questions for Entergy. In Entergy's defense, they say there were omission of key facts from the report and that there was specific evidence Entergy provided that confirms it did not pay, nor did it authorize any other person or entity to pay individuals to attend or speak at council meetings. That explanation just doesn't hold up for some.
They're not working for the good of the people in New Orleans. They're only working for profit.
And now, as Wednesday's meeting approaches, residents say there's only one way to resolve this. That's with a new vote.
Now, our partners at the New Orleans Advocate reported earlier today that the new New Orleans City Council will seek a $5 million sanction against Entergy for paying these actors for this scandal. Now, that happened while I was still with the residents earlier, and I asked them about this, and they say, well, this feels like a slap on the wrist because this company is a billion-dollar company. For now, reporting in New Orleans East, Jacqueline Quinn, Eyewitness News.
And Jacqueline taking a look at what to watch for as the council reviews the findings of the investigation. The public will be able to comment at tomorrow's City Council meeting. That meeting is set to start at 1 p.m. District E Representative Cindy Wynn says she hopes the council will come up with a resolution. Now, the proposed power plant is in her district, but she was not on the council when it was approved.